Savage Nation, I hope you've enjoyed the sermon thus far. It's one of those odd days where the news doesn't really have that much interest to me. Although I would invite you to my website for all the news that I didn't talk about today on michaelsavage.com. And take a look at everything I got up there over the weekend. It's updated 7 days a week. Joe in Sacramento, you're next up. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm definitely an atheist, and I was, growing up in a Muslim family with all Jewish friends and Christian friends. My question really is, yeah, of course, suicide bombers are crazy, and any radical religious group is crazy. What if there was no religion? Wouldn't if there was more realists in the world, wouldn't that stop a lot of deaths? I could quote,
let's take this on the face of it. I've heard this discussion. I've had this discussion before, and it's probably one that you need to have right now, Joe. You say that you're an atheist, and I understand why. Having grown up in the kind of home you probably did, I probably would have wound up an atheist too, as the only choice. But let's go to China. China was primarily a Buddhist nation until Mao Zedong came along. Does his name ring a bell to you?
Yes.
Okay, Mao Zedong, was he a Buddhist? Was he religious, or was he a communist?
Communist.
Okay, so he was not religious, correct?
I'm not sure his religious background.
Well, he wasn't religious. He was a communist. He didn't believe in religion. He studied Marxism. He got infected with that concept of Marxism. He brought it to China, and he became the ruthless dictator of China. He was not religious, and 60 million Chinese either died directly at his hands or were starved to death or killed in wars. So you can't argue that religion is the problem, and that if there was no religion, there'd be peace on earth. Communism, which came along in the last century, accounted for 100 million deaths worldwide. That was not based on religion, was it? It was based upon communism, the opposite of religion. So the argument that we'd be better off if we were atheists, there'd be no wars, is a false argument.
Is that
what you're looking for, Joe, is a religion other than the one you grew up with, but I'll leave that to you, not to me. But you see, I've given him a little 60-second lesson that he couldn't get in a school, because even if the teacher knew to do that, they'd be afraid to do it for fear they'd be attacked by the communists in the school on the school board, of whom there are quite quite a few. Portland, Oregon, KXL country. George, quickly, you're up in the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Dr. Savage? Yeah, Rudy Giuliani is coming to Portland tomorrow, down to one of these liberal coffee shops in Portland, and I'm going to go down there. I don't live in Portland, mind you. I live in Salem, nowhere near Portland, thank God. And I'm going to ask him, as president, how is he going to protect us against the ACLU and Congress passing...
Why don't you ask Rudy Giuliani why he will not go on the Savage Nation, which has so many millions of listeners? Why don't you ask him that question and get the answer for us for Monday? Would you do that?
Oh, certainly, Doctor, certainly. That'll be the first...
No, ask him a direct question that you'll appear in a coffee shop in Portland, Oregon, trying to convert 12 liberals to vote for you, but you won't go on the show with the strongest conservative base in the country, and come back to us on Monday with that answer. I look forward to that one, you know. Pennsylvania, Bonita, in Pennsylvania, you're up on the Savage Nation. Topic, please.
The Malloy, the bad eye. Have you ever heard of it?
Say it again. Say it in Italian. How do you say it?
Malloy.
Malloy. Yeah, that's almost Irish. It's such good Italian.
Yeah.